The sky is falling, the Toronto real estate market's crashing. That's probably what you're hearing on the news right now, or if you're scrolling through Instagram, all you're seeing is Toronto real estate prices are dipping and the market's going to shit. Yes, same old news, we expected this. In today's video, we're going to be discussing about what's going to happen in the Toronto real estate market and what's happened since COVID till now to give us a better understanding of where we can expect our GTA's real estate market. Now, if this is your first time visiting my page, make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for more real estate content from your favorite realtor, Ryan Noel. My team and I specialize in pre-construction, residential real estate, and commercial real estate, and we're here to help you with all your real estate needs. So what's really going on in today's real estate market within Toronto? It's evident by now that if you haven't heard anything negative about the real estate market, it's probably because you're not living in this world. Houses are not selling as quick as they once were back from our February highs. And did we expect this? Yes, we did. Why was that? Let's take a couple of steps back to see what's caused all this commotion. When COVID started, we all thought the market's gonna go to shit. I know that firsthand because I literally started my real estate career 2 weeks before COVID started. True story. I was working at a full-time job at the bank because of conflict of interest. Given my resignation letter, made my first IG post saying, hey, I'm a realtor. Reach out to me for all your real estate needs. And then I started seeing news about COVID at first I thought this was bullshit. I thought, okay, no, there's no way this is really happening. But then I saw Six Buzz posting about the NBA league shutting off his season because of COVID, seeing Toronto school boards close down. I'm like, holy shit, this thing's actually real. And the first instinct everyone really thought was, okay, this market's gonna crash. There's no way that we're gonna be doing showings. There's no way we're gonna be able to sell properties. Everyone was calling me literally not to buy real estate, but to tell me, dude, you fucked up. You were supposed to leave the bank later and now you entered this market where you're not gonna sell anything. Joke's on them. But on a serious note, the central banks decided to decrease interest rates 3 times by an increment of 0.5%. And we've seen historic low interest rates that we've gotten for our clients because of this issue. True talk, and for a couple of our buyers, if you're watching this, you know who you are. We were able to get you guys a variable rate as low as 0.99% during this COVID pandemic period for your purchase, which is phenomenal. Like, where have you heard 0.99 interest rates? Like, that's crazy, right? Now, the second the cost of borrowing became so low, the power of offering higher for real estate offers became so high. And to top that off, we've seen a ridiculous bidding war strategy that came onto the market, which I personally hated. But it just became so evident and so consistent to the point where sellers were asking us agents to list our properties like how their neighbors sold their properties, where they listed literally $400,000 or $500,000 under market value, end up getting either similar sold prices or beating that price on that same street by an extra 5-10K and promoting that as, oh yeah, we just sold this property for $500,000 over asking. It was completely misguiding a lot of the buyers and actually new first-time buyers in the market about how and where prices were going. Because when you hear $400,000 over asking, you're just like, whoa, what the hell? Right? Now, enough of all that. Moving on from these lower interest rate hikes, we saw the market beating itself sale after sale within almost every neighborhood within the GTA, and specifically outside of the downtown core and outside of the greater Toronto region, as majority of the individuals that were working from their condos, having to take the subway to go to work, that now shifted to this work from home culture, and they just realized, shoot, why am I going to waste my money renting a condo in downtown when they can buy their own properties as far east as Bowmanville, as far north as Barrie, as far east as Brantford, Niagara region, and so forth, which has caused all these outer markets to spike up in price and literally make some investors double, if not maybe 2.5, 3x their property value, which is not crazy, right? Now, every reality story does come to an end, and these rates were not going to be here forever. And we knew that. We saw that coming. But what the Bank of Canada decided to do was do very drastic and quick rate increases that has caused a shift and a shock in the market. And that's what we're going through right now as you're watching this video. It's not the end of the world. The market's not going to crash, in my opinion. But this rate hike was needed to give us a more healthier and stable market that gives us slow yet consistent growth and not give us profits that are like on steroids, where some investors were literally making 6 figures from just buying and flipping the same house within 2-3 months time of closing and relisting. Like, no market has worked that way. If you've been reading your articles, you probably have seen Canadian real estate brokerage House Sigma come up with an article stating that freehold towns have actually dropped by 22.6% based off their algorithmic calculations. And I know a lot of you guys use House Sigma. It's a very beautiful app. It's a really good app, actually. I'm not gonna lie, I do sometimes hop on the app and check and see what's there because stats are readily available on your phone. Don't get me wrong. But I would definitely tell you to take their data with a grain of salt, as it's completely purely algorithmic based off of what numbers is inputted into the app. And it doesn't really calculate and factor in specific type of differences that add and remove value like custom renovations or extra. Nonetheless, we do know prices have definitely dropped from its February highs, but where are we headed from going on forward from here? Now, RE/MAX Canada and Royal LePage are actually on the optimistic side of things, even after all these increases and news about the interest rates increasing, on the side of thinking that prices can actually continue to go higher. And surprising enough, the CEO of Royal LePage, Phil Soper, came on CP24 and voiced his opinion about how he's increased his benchmark expectation, Canada's real estate and Toronto's real estate prices to increase by another 15% year end of 2022. Crazy, right? Now listen, in every market, whether you're in the real estate market or stock market, every market's gonna have its bulls and bears. If you don't know what bulls and bears are, just put that somewhere down here in the video. But there's always gonna be a group of people that look at the market in a very optimistic way, and there's gonna be a lot of individuals that look at the market in a very pessimistic way. What I can tell you right now, majority of the individuals I'm speaking to are thinking of this very pessimistically, and that's very fair to say so. Why? Because as interest rates go up, cost of borrowing goes up, purchase power and buying power decreases, which only limits you on how much you can really offer on a subject property, which makes so much sense. But a portion of the Toronto and Canadian real estate market that's gonna continually fuel our economy's growth and our real estate growth in the market is a lack of supply of homes that we can provide to our growing city and our growing country. Fast forward a bit, on April 13th, the Bank of Canada came out with this interest rate hike increase to a phenomenal increase of 0.5%, which has brought our central bank's policy rate up to 1% effectively. And beyond this, we are expecting another rate increase of 0.5% upcoming in our next meeting for June 1st of this year. CPI inflation is also at its record high of 5.7%, and this has been the highest that we've seen from 1991, and experts are projecting this inflation rate to actually go up to as much as 6%. So we are expecting more rate hikes, and we do have a consistent supply issue. Now, I do want to ask you guys, what are your thoughts on what you think where the Toronto real estate market is headed? Now, my personal opinion with where I think the real estate market is headed is as stated. I personally think from the start of COVID till now, I was actually able to help a lot of Torontonians transact in the real estate field by helping them disperse out from the Toronto core as they evolved into that work from home culture. Many bought their first home that they never thought they would ever be able to afford in their life. Many students that were actually studying within the core, whether it be at the colleges or universities, had that luxury of studying from home, which meant that they could leave their rentals and move out to their parents' place or even look into buying their own places someplace elsewhere. But things are changing back as we are now living through the return to work mandate, as we're seeing many individuals from many different sectors come back into the core of the city to get back to their workplaces for either 5 days a week worth of work or some type of hybrid setup where they come into work some days and they study from home. Whatever it is, things are changing, and that's very evident. This influx of Torontonians coming back into the GTA and Toronto core has definitely been able to help us see average condo rent prices increase over the past couple of months, as well as condo sales start to pick back up. And in my personal and humble audience opinion, I believe if you pick up any piece of real estate around the greater Toronto core, you will see in the long-term scale a constant and steady growth within your real estate investment. As for other cities, I do see that it would make sense to see some sort of price adjustment, as my future outlook would definitely pose towards seeing a lot of sellers try to liquidate their properties as they try to move back into the city, and drastically seeing a bunch of inventory and a bunch of supply kick up in these outer cities. As with the law of supply and demand, as supply goes high, demand goes low, and prices goes lower, I would logically expect to see prices outside the GTA definitely take a dip, while cities of the greater Toronto region maintain their value, maintain their price projections, and still achieve and attain those slow and steady and healthy gains that we've normally seen in any real estate transaction. Now, I want to thank you so much for staying this long in the video. It truly does mean a lot. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know, put the thumbs up, make sure to share it with your friends and family, and I'll see you guys at my next YouTube video. RYANNOEL out.